Become a professional lead generator and you can charge whatever you want.
So just to be clear, if you got signs in the yard, guys on the roof, smart tarps hanging from the building, that's how you sell more jobs, not by sitting at the office.
Leadership is definitely going to help people stay inspired.
All right. Hot take number one. The person who can't stop unloading trucks will never build a real company. What do you guys think about this? You agree, disagree, and why?
I would somewhat disagree because I still like unloading trucks.
It's nice to have a break.
I just got back from a 3-week vacation also, so I kind of pick what I want to do at this point. But I think I've said before, like for me, I think my mental health, honestly, I need dumb labor. Like I need to swing a hammer. I need to, throw shingles. I need to clean trailers out. Like I enjoy some of that. I don't do it every day, but I definitely don't think that that's 100% accurate. Hot take. My stuff's caught in the office. I'm good. Everything's clean. We've got people in place to take care of the things I don't want to do. And I'm always hired to my weakness. I always hire to the things I don't want to do.
Well,
I don't mind cleaning the shop out or cleaning the truck out or, that's fine with me. Like that's what needs done today and I don't have anything better to do. That's what I gotta do. So
I was going to ask you, have you kind of scaled back on doing some of that because not because you don't enjoy it, but because perhaps your time is just more valuable in other places?
sure. I mean, I don't, when I say I enjoy doing it, it's because I do enjoy doing it. I don't get to do it. That, the dumb labor type, I call it dumb labor. It's not, none of it's dumb labor, but you guys understand what I'm saying. I don't get to do it nearly as often as I would like, to be honest with you, just because I do know my value and I know where my time should be spent. So I have a little bit of discipline, but at the same time, I think, I'm training a GM right now. I've got moved a guy into the general manager position. One thing I'm never going to let him do is completely get out of sales and production. Like he still needs to sell a job from time to time. He still needs to manage a project from time to time because the only way to stay sharp on all things are to continue to do those things a little bit. So like even for me, I want to back down to the grunt work. I still want to go do that because I don't want to forget that. I want to make sure I always have that.
Never forget where you came from, T-Way. I get it. No, I understand. What about you, Martin? Do you have anything else there that you kind of felt differently about or wanted to add?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. It's good for the psyche to get out and about. And it's good for me. Like anytime I go to a job site, it's always I see it a little differently than everyone else and I notice things. So I just think it's really encouraging to going back to the question of does it matter about unloading the truck? Yeah, it does. And when your team sees you out doing it, sweeping, whatever you're doing, I think it has a resounding impact on your team, knowing that the guy with where the buck stops is also not afraid to get his hands a little dirty.
In the trenches with them. No, I love that.
I guess it depends on like where your real skill set lies. You definitely need to do what it is that you truly excel at. But if you're just unloading a truck to kind of fill in a gap, you need to hire for that, man. Like that's not going to be the best use of your time. That's not how you're going to grow your company. It's not how you're going to polish anything. I mean, you could hire a kid to go do that for $15 an hour. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to be wasting your skill set on running materials,
Yeah. Yeah, and just to kind of catch you up to speed while you were hopping in here, some of the kind of conflicting feedback that we've received is like, well, if you're not willing to kind of get down and dirty in the trenches with your people, what message does that send? So that was kind of the rebuttal. Do you have any feedback on kind of that piece where it's like, yeah, time could be better spent elsewhere, or your time is worth X dollar amount, but what about like the inclusivity of your team? Does that ever add a layer?
So again, I would kind of relate that back to what your true skill set actually lies in. And if you claim to be the absolute best installer, then yeah, you should absolutely be up on the roof with your crew and showing them the ways that things should be getting installed 100% of the time. If you're some sales guru or something like that, and like you're teaching practices on like how to overcome objections and things, the best way to really kind of teach that is to show that while you're out there with one of your sales reps, that it's important to get out in front of whatever skill set you truly align with, that you really excel in, and hire for all the parts that you don't.
Yeah. No, I like that. Brian, anything that you want to add?
I interpret that as more of like a leadership activity to where you're going back to, just it's an occasional activity where you're showing your team that, everybody starts somewhere. Don't forget where you came from. Help out where you can. It's a cooperative effort, but leadership is definitely going to help people stay inspired and know what direction to take.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. We have had a little bit of feedback here in our Q&A. Brian Nurley here, 9 minutes in. Thank you, attendees. Jay Bradley, hot take. Roof camp was ProLine made it awesome. Does anybody here disagree with that? Did anybody hear feedback that would differ? Because I was there and I had a great time. Don't even, John.
I bet that it was absolutely phenomenal. And like I sent Jay a text regarding like the success of that event. I'm, however, rather disappointed that my pals over at ProLine didn't say, "Hey, Story, you want to tag along?" You know?
Little did we know that you're willing to fly all the way to Minnesota just to hang out with the gang. Now we know. And when we're there in the dead of winter come January, you're going to be my first invite, Star.
Anytime I get to be in the room with the likes of a Mr. Jay Bradley, I would never turn down the opportunity.
No, that's a good point. Mr. J. Bradley over at Roof Nuts knows his stuff. I can say that I've been to a handful of events out in the industry, and most of them, they're fun. You have to kind of mind your P's and Q's or a little bit buttoned up. That was not what this was at all. It was very real and raw, and I don't know. It was a cool experience. If you haven't done a roof camp yet,
I'm
what are you
such a
doing?
big fan of his. I stole one of his lines a few weeks ago. And
Did
he-
you know that we were using
Yes.
his hot take about the just and damage? Remember when we had that hot take, y'all? I don't know who else is in here, but
Yeah.
that was him. You disagreed with Mr. J. Bradley. How could you?
Well, listen, I still like.
No, we all do. We all do. All right, y'all.
What's the Jay Bradley line you used, Mr. Starry?
Oh
Ooh.
gosh, man, I don't remember.
Come on.
He's just got so many.
He really does. Yeah, I agree with you. Man, Star, you're going to get excited about this one too. We've got Andy Kang sounding off in the comments. Are you ready for this? He's got questions.
How is he addressing you in the comments?
Well, you can see him too if you weren't driving, big dog.
Oh, for
Stop,
real?
guys. We have a ton of new roofing companies opening in our area. Tons of landscaping companies trying to slap roofs on. We're fortunate. We came into roofing season with roughly 30 contracts since the second week of March. We've been running a minimum of 1 install a day, many times 2. However, over the past 3 or 4 weeks, our estimates have been slowing down. And the number of contracts we've been signing have been slowing considerably. Late July is not looking great at the moment. People are coming in around 100, 200 per square, which is lower than them. In this situation, do you think it's correct to drop price considerably or hold price? Personally, I don't like dropping price because I feel like we're just diminishing our value. In higher end neighborhoods or communities, we're still good, but the middle or lower to range income homes, we're losing like 80% of our estimates to new companies. Thoughts?
I have a line that I use very frequently on stuff like that, and I'm gonna turn it over to you, Allie. So, what's your favorite kind of car?
Oh man. I'm not really. Oh, I mean, I have a little Lincoln and I love hers. Let's go with that.
All right. So Lincolns are all made here in the States, right? So
Oh, wow.
let's say you were looking at 2 brand new Lincoln MKZs or something, right? One was 50 grand and one was 55 grand. Everything about them was absolutely identical. Same exterior color, the same color leather, same ventilated and heated seats, steering wheel. It was exactly what you wanted. Which of those 2 would you buy?
The more expensive one, obviously.
You would buy the more
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Just kidding. No,
You
I
would
would go
get
with the
more
cheaper one.
expensive, right? But let's pretend that more expensive one, like the big difference between the 2 is the more expensive one is actually built like right there in Michigan by skilled hands at Lincoln. Whereas the one that was $5,000 cheaper was actually put together in a high school shop class. Which one would you get then? So, I mean, you just got to dice it up and show them like the skilled labor that goes behind, a big expensive project like this is worth spending a little bit more for. I mean, if the people that show up to your home, like you don't care like about what people show up there, you don't care who comes on your property, anything like that. If you don't care about the products or the warranties that we stand behind, then maybe they're not the customer for you. So if they can't see the value in spending a little bit more to have a skilled set of hands actually install that big expensive project that protects everything around them, then move on.
Yeah, go down the street. All right, y'all, what do you think? Should Andy lower his prices or should he stay steady? What do we think?
I want to contradict John a little bit.
Get after it.
So I I don't disagree. I agree that, we're not the cheapest and we almost never are, but I think that there is a game you play, and I've always kind of felt this way. For me, number one thing is to be profitable. Number two thing is everybody stays busy. So like my crews do not want to sit on the sideline. They're going to go work for someone else. I do not want them working for anyone else. If my sales guys are not selling projects, they don't get a paycheck. This is a team effort. If it means me making very little, not that this would be a regular thing, right? But there are times if we can see like, oh man, we are chewing through this backlog super fast. We're hitting a season of slow time, which you can almost count on for us. Every year school lets out, and at the same time when school lets in, every year it's the same. There's like a 3-week slow spurt right there, or slow drought, I guess. We'll drop margins. That's fine. I don't want my crew sitting on their hands. I don't want my sales guys not, getting contracts signed. So our priority list is make profit, keep crews busy, sales guys signing contracts. So all of that has to play into effect. I think one thing that has been like beat into everybody's brains that's on social media in the roofing space is build a brand that you get to name your price and it's not a commodity and all that. I disagree. I believe roofing is 100% a commodity. And at the end of the day, it's really not that highly skilled of a craft. There are not all roofing, but shingle roof install is not a highly skilled craft. Like most people can pick that skill up fairly quickly. It's labor intensive, but it's not a high skilled craft. So I think we have to remember like we can easily price ourselves into a bad spot. The other part of it is profit margins reflect off revenue. And when I say that, your overhead percentage drops as your revenue goes up. So let's say you're going to spend $1 million in overhead for the year. You've got a $1 million budget for overhead. Well, if you only do $5 million, well, that's 20%. You've got 20% overhead. If you can sell more and do $10 million, which just easy numbers, that's only 10%. So I don't need to make as much profit per job to actually make more profit at the end of the year because my overhead percentage is lower. So I can't afford to eat 5% of margins on some jobs or whatever it is to get more competitive if I need to sell jobs. That's my opinion.
No, that makes sense. Thank you. Anybody else have anything else to add for Andy here with Teflon Roofing?
One last thing I wanted to mention. You sell jobs from being on jobs. You don't sell jobs from sitting at the office. So just to be clear, if you got signs in the yard, guys on the roof, smart tarps hanging from the building, that's how you sell more jobs, not by sitting at the office.
Yeah, no, I agree. Jay Bradley sounding off in the Q&A here. The more leads you have, the more selective you can be with your clients. Become a professional lead generator and you can charge whatever you want. What do you guys think about that?
I do definitely think it's easier to charge a premium when they don't go through a paid marketing channel. Absolutely. Referrals don't shop around. People that that you get recommended to, I mean, you're typically going to be the one and only estimate that they actually receive. So I would absolutely agree with that.
So, John, if you do a job at a little lower margin because times are a little tough, but you can turn that job into a really, really great referral. Now that job has more value than that lower margin that you charge them, right?
Yep.
So there's other ways to
Just a food for thought.
no, but there's other ways that we kind of affect price without it affecting margin, right? So we buy a number of different items just like you do in bulk. Where if you're typically going to have a supplier deliver it, and then you could like let's say drip edge for example. If you're spending 10.50 a stick for drip edge through a supplier, but you can buy it directly from the actual manufacturer of that drip edge for 5.50 a stick. I mean, you can impact the total price of that job without it impacting total amount of profit that you really take in from, you know? I mean, all the difference between like what you charge, like whether you get it delivered from a supplier and what you charge, whether you pull it out of your own in-house inventory, your profit margins are going to stay in line. There's ways to get competitive without it impacting your, you know, bottom dollar on every single job, you know?
I'm just picking at you.
We're just arguing here on the Roofer to Roofer show.
We'll drive up there.
All right. What are your thoughts on lead generators who charge per lead?
We personally had no real success with lead, as I think Starry said, gaggregators. I'm not a fan of them. We've tried them, you know, you name it, we've tried it. You know, tried and true is LSA for us, and referrals, and you know, obviously working within our networks. You know, I just haven't found a partnership with someone that can really offer a great lead aggregator. So
What was the biggest issue you had, Martin?
I think you were just not set up to communicate with someone, you know, within the first, you know, 15 seconds. And I know that there's all this AI, but it's the constant back and forth. And then when we finally get out there, it's the customer that's gotten 5, 6, 7 estimates, and then it becomes price. And then I have to either go Scott's way or John's way. And it's just not worth it to us. In this case, we just find quality over quantity is what's really worked for us, at least in the Atlanta market.
They're saying call center is needed if you're buying leads and calls, plus they need to be exclusive or else it won't work. Carol, who do you work for? Do you do marketing, or what's your occupation? Yes, Stoy Media. Okay, smooth. All right, y'all. Moving into hot take number 2 here. Your company doesn't have a sales problem, it has a knowledge problem. Your reps are partially trained parrots who repeat a script that they don't really understand. What do you guys think about this?
Honestly, that I agree with it 100%. This is why I love the OG sales team I have, because they came from installs. They were roofers, so they really really know the product, the process, the installation. Like our sales process is literally an education. There's no tell you how it goes on, why we chose the products that we chose to you know present to you, and why we would do what we would do and how we would do it. And that's now that I haven't had in-house labor for a while. As we grow, that gets a lot more difficult, finding good quality guys that come from the labor field to take in a sales role. But no, I agree 100%. We see it a lot.
What percent of your laborers are, maybe they start out in that, right? But then they start to think, maybe I can do this sales thing, or hell, maybe I can run the whole company altogether. What percentage of your production kind of moves into that inevitably?
I think it's extremely hard to find those guys. I was very, very fortunate when we had all in-house labor. I was extremely picky on who I hired. Like they had to look the part too. Like they couldn't, like I was against even hiring guys that smoked. Like you know, not if that's what you do, that's fine. You know, it's just not what I wanted. So most of my laborers were very presentable, well-spoken guys that just happened. Like my lead guy, the guy that I'm moving into the GM position, he was one of my first laborers that I ever hired. He has a degree in architecture. Like This guy should not have been swinging a hammer for a living. He was way, way too intelligent for that, but that's what he liked to do. He didn't like architecture. So he liked building. So it's really hard to find. I'd say the percentage is extremely low. I don't know what it is. For me, it's 80% of my sales team.
What do y'all think?
I think so. If you know how to take something apart, you know how to put it back together, and therefore you can build education into that, like a roof repair. Someone's got a leak, and then you're, looking up and kind of imagining how the attic is built and the rafters and all that stuff, and you can kind of explain things. And um, people want to work with people like that who know what's going on and aren't just reading from a script or sound like a robot. But it comes down to training too. If you train your people long enough and do cold call them and what you call it when you mystery shop your own company, but you got to tweak it every time you mess up or you make something. It's a long-term thing, I think.
Yeah. Constantly evolving, I'm sure. 46% of our sales were online before we sold the company. And those customers left 5-star reviews, took photos, but we never met them once. So the idea behind this is that remote selling at scale is already here in roofing and that most people just haven't admitted it yet.
I sold a roof on Friday in like 25 minutes, not stepping foot at the house. They just like needed something right away. They had a leak, so they needed us to come out and do an emergency tarp. So I was able to document afterwards just to double check everything. I really do think that it is the future of our industry is for people to buy online. And I think it's coming faster than what we think.
What do y'all think?
I agree with Martin. We do get them. I wouldn't say a lot, but I just don't think it's ever going to be the way. I think that there's plenty of customers that are happy to just call in. We won't even, sometimes they'll be in such a hurry. They won't even want to, just send me a price. It needs replaced. Okay. We have had that. I just think that the majority of homeowners, it's such a large purchase. It's like this. This is the way I look at it. There's a percentage of this world that will buy a car off Carvana. It's a small percentage. Most people spending a large sum of money like that want to go somewhere, put their hands on it, look at it, test drive it. I know you can't do that with a roof, but what you can do is meet the person that's going to be responsible for that installation or, responsible for coming back if there's a problem. They want a relationship of some kind. I think that that's the primary, the majority of the market is that, but I do think that there's plenty of people that will go the other way. It's the
So like Gen Z or millennials, right? What generation are you referring to? Because I know that the baby boomers, like for sure, want you to come out. They want to touch and hold the samples. But Gen Z and Gen X, like I don't know if you guys have read that 4+1 reasons the roofing industry is going to change. But I think the millennial generation and before, they don't even have toolboxes. My dad taught me how to change my oil, but let me tell you, I don't pay anyone to change. I mean, I don't change my own oil. I pay somebody $100 to pull in 10 minutes. And I think that's just gonna start multiplying more and more the younger the generations get. So the boomers for sure, the people that have no time and it's like, hey, can you put my roof on? I just want to pick a color. Yeah, here's a drone video report of like different colors that you can choose from. I just think that from the millennial generation and now before, they're gonna want to DoorDash their roof and Uber their roof, and I think it's coming for sure.
Does GoPuff do Owens Corning? I wonder.
What is GoPuff?
You're not familiar with that?
No.
Oh, it's like, I don't know what it is. I think they did it originally for like tobacco and alcohol deliveries, but now it's kind of flourished to kind of just general DoorDash grocery vibes. You can get anything on GoPuff, Martin. Really anything at all.
Never even heard of it. I'm gonna try to get a roof on GoPuff.
Yeah,
and
see what
Scott
can
Tina.
happen. Y'all do Timberline? Let me know. Yeah.
46% were sold online. What happened to the other 54%?
Oh, they took Jay Bradley's door knocking course and they were in the trenches. What else?
I mean, I definitely see the industry shifting that way. I mean, I don't think that 100% of people are going to prefer that method. I think the ratio is rather small still. And like, I mean, we do live in a really, you know, uppity area and stuff out here in Tampa Bay. It's not like people are like living under a rock or anything like that. But I just don't, I wouldn't put all my chips on like trying to like just move to an online only business.
All right, that's fair. So let's say you pull up to a gas station and you put your card in and then you get that message that says see cashier. What are you guys doing?
Trying a different card.
So you're gonna pull out your wallet, you're gonna try a different card. Then what? That second card doesn't work. What are you guys doing? Scott?
I go to the cashier and tell him to
Are
turn
you
in.
going straight inside? It ain't working.
Yeah, get me freaking fuel. Yes.
Okay, Marian, what are you doing?
I'm peacing out. I'm out. I'm going to the next one.
Next pump or next gas station?
Next gas station for sure. For sure. I don't have time to like walk in and try to figure out. And then they're like, well, how much do you want to put on pump whatever? I'm like, as much as it takes. I mean,
I didn't see this happening. I didn't see you all having different answers. I thought it would either be go inside or leave. I didn't foresee the card option. I don't know. There's so much nuance to this question.
Martin doesn't even take the road half the time to get to the next gas station. They'll just drive over a median and like
Never in
I don't believe it. Yeah. I don't believe in roads, John.
He does sidewalks. And
you drive a Lincoln, don't you, sir?
I drive Lincoln's version of an F-150.
Shit,
For the
King
cheaper
Ranch,
version.
right?
Yeah, King Ranch for
These are
sure.
luxury and comfort, John. He doesn't need a
Yeah.
Raptor, okay? He'd be off-roading somewhere else. Okay? Read the room. No, that's a hilarious question though, because it's like, what does that say about the different buying styles? Or how would that kind of same thought process parlay over into like your, I don't know, like your follow-up process, for example? You hit the card one time, they say, see cashier. What are we doing, y'all? Kind of funny. Kind of funny.
I think it's a great question because like the same thing happened to me with plumbing, right? It's like nobody answered. So I hung up and I called the next plumber. No one answered and I hung up and called the next person until I could talk to someone. So
I think I
Yeah.
might have that same thing too. Like I need the answer immediately. So I'm just gonna call until somebody gives it to me. Like
yeah.
that's hilarious. Cool. Well, I do have kind of like another funny one that I'm down to end it on, unless anybody in our audience here has something they want to add. I'll give you another like 30 seconds to pop in your question here, and then we'll just end it on another.
Is Andy still here?
Let's see. He's still here, believe it or not. He said, yeah.
I think Andy's been brewing something up the entire time.
Andy, I want all of our attendees to participate in this last question here. So everybody buckle up, get ready. This one's big. Based on either our show today or the history of shows that you've seen, personal relationships that you have with the guys on the panel here today, who is most likely to go on a game show and win it all? If you had to put all of your money on one of our panelists here, you can't include me. I'm so sorry. I knew you were all going to pick me. But
Yeah, I was gonna pick Allie with no doubt.
I was going to pick you too.
you can't pick me. You have to pick one of the guys in the show here. And I want you guys to give your answer and why. And you can't pick yourself. I wish Brian was here.
You can't pick yourself.
No, John. Come on.
I would have picked Brian would be my second choice. And then Martin. It can't be Don. That's all I'm saying.
If the game show was on general tomfoolery, John would have it in the bag. If it's mischief, he's got it down. But if it's just like general knowledge game show, I'm going Martin or Brian all day. Scott.
Yeah.
All right, you'll sound off in the comments here. Which one of our panelists is most likely to win a game show? Martin, you got one vote.
I bet the people will speak and they will select me.
They won't.
Of course.
John. They won't.
If they do, they have not been paying
Yeah,
attention.
if it's the marketing team that want your business, they'll put you. And just like that, I can't even make it up. I can't even make it up. John, you won.
I mean, it's a no-brainer, folks. No-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. No, I agree. All right, y'all. Well, let's see. What did Andy say? T-Bay, just because he serves the Morgantown location. Anybody but Starry is basically the general consensus here. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Something about this. I want to end every
know,
recruiter.
I think maybe one of these future episodes we should have a trivia.
Yeah. And what would that consist of? Like silly questions, kind of like the
Absolutely, just
cashier
like
question, or
stuff that's not at all related to anything that we typically answer. Like
okay.
just listen to like an old Richard Dalton version of like Family Feud one day, or I don't.
So I need to go do a little bit of research, come back Monday with some fresh ideas. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean,
Hey, you don't have to tell me twice. You don't have
I'm
to
so down for Family Feud. As far as trivia, I'm terrible at it. But if you interviewed 100 people, I think I could get pretty close to what like the top answers would be. But trivia in itself, oof.
Okay, so which one of those questions did you enjoy more so that I can come back locked and loaded ready for Monday? Do we enjoy the more kind of thought-provoking, put card in, see cashier, or do we like more of the putting you guys at odds against each other? Because I mean, both are equally satisfying for me.
I'm a fan of both. So
Me too.
Super helpful, John. Thanks. All right, y'all. Well, that gives me something to work with at a minimum. I appreciate you gentlemen for always coming on and bringing good energy and answering questions, even the silly ones. And for those of you in our attendee pool, thanks for coming. We're going to be right back at it next Monday at 4:30 Eastern to do it all again. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. And yeah, see you next week.